Okay, welcome back students. In this video, I will explain the concept of friend functions. Okay, generally to explain this, I will elaborate the stuff so far whatever we have discussed in our DSA videos. So, we already know that if you have a class, let us assume that I am taking that example only. If you have a class, in a class we are going to have data members and member functions. They can be of any type. They can be of public, they can be of private, and they can be of protected. Okay, so let us assume that I am having public as well as private, because protected so far we have not discussed. That's why I am not taking that protected type of data members into consideration. So we will discuss only two types, that is public and private. Okay, so I have a data member public data member, that is int A. Okay, now I am writing another data member, that is private int B. So now if I want to access my public data member outside the class, I can access, because public data member will have the full access rights. So I can easily access that data member outside of the class by simply making use of object of this example class. That is possible. But whereas private data member I cannot access, because it is completely restricted. We have given the protection on that B data member with this access modifier, private access modifier. So accessing that B private variable outside of the class, it is not possible. Even with the help of object, we cannot access that B variable. So what are the possibilities? What are my possibilities is simply I have to declare a public method, a public function inside this class. That public function, let us assume that one for setting the value and one for retrieving the value. So whenever we declare a variable, basically we do two things. We will put the value into that variable, and we will when it is required, we will retrieve that value. So keeping the value into the variable, we call it as setting the value. So we use a setter method, set B likewise, or set value function likewise we use. So next, retrieving the value. How we can retrieve? With the help of get. Retrieving is nothing but getting the value. So we use getter method, setter method to set the value, getter method to get the value. So now in order to set the value for this B function, B variable, what I do, I use, so setter method will not have any return value. So void set B function. Now this function, as it is public and this function is inside the class, so it can access all the data members, public as well as private, as long as it is inside the class. So whenever we are discussing about this private member, we are saying that private member B is not having the access outside the class. We are not saying anywhere, we are simply saying outside the class. That means inside the class we have the access right. Inside the class, even though it is a private, we have the access right. So by making use of this public method which is inside the class, we are accessing the private member function. So now set B can access this B. Next, as it is integer type, and getter method will return the value int get B. What it will do? It will access this B and return the value. This set B, it will access this B and set the value. Okay, these two we have. Setting the value will have the parameter. Setting the value will have the parameter, because this parameter will supply from the main function, and this parameter will be initialized with this B. And getting the value, it will not. We will not pass any value. Simply what we do, we will retrieve the value of this B. Whenever you call this getter method, we will retrieve the value of this B. So now, okay, so my class is complete, and I will use main method int main of, and I will call this set B to set the value. And how we can call this set B? First of all, we have to create the object of this example class, because this set B, get B, these two functions are inside this example class. So I have to create the object of this example obj. Example obj. Now using this obj, I can call this set B by passing some value. Obj dot set B of some 10. Okay, next obj dot, okay, get B will retrieve my value. So you just see out that one, see out of obj dot get B. So this will print the value of B on the output screen. So like this. So this setter method, member functions, what they will do, they will simply access all the data members of a particular class, of a single class. What if you have multiple classes? If you have multiple classes and you want to access the data members, all the data members, including the private. If you want to access all the data members, including the private, there comes the concept of friend functions. So a friend function is used basically to access data members, all the data members from multiple classes, not from a single class, but from multiple classes. So if you declare a function like a friend function in multiple classes, that function can access all your data members from multiple classes. So that to explain, let us assume ma'am, can you just pause the video if we have the option over there? Okay, so if you have multiple classes and you want to access data members from multiple classes, so let us assume that I have one class with name A and other class with name B, or it's better to take exp1 and exp2 because we are taking two classes. So example 1 and example 2. I am taking two classes. One is exp1 and the other one is exp2. Okay, so one class I am taking it as exp1 and the other class I am taking exp2. So I have two classes. Okay, let us assume I have one public member over here, public A. Here one public member, public B. Okay, here one private member, private C. Here one private member, private D. Now if I declare public method over here, yeah, that public method can access only A and C. It cannot access B and D because it is declared inside this class. Okay, in that same way, if I declare one public function over here, that public function can access B and D. It cannot access A and C. Okay, what if I want a single function to access all my data members in both the classes? Yeah, it is basically with the normal member functions, it is not possible. So there comes the concept of friend functions. So we have to declare friend functions so that you can access all the data members. What we do, we'll put one function with name access members, and as it is a friend function, to both the classes, we have to do the declaration with same name in both the both the classes. So here also you have to declare access members, and here also you have to declare access members. So like this, access members, and as they are friend function, as this function is friend function, you have to prefix the function name with keyword friend, okay. So here friend, and whatever return type you want to put, that return type you have to put over here. If you don't want to give any return type, then put void. Okay, here also friend void. So like this the declaration will go. Like this the declaration will go. So next thing what we have to do, the definition. Where we have to write the definition, because the function is not bound to any specific class. Here this function is declared inside exp1, and this function is declared inside exp2 as well. So because this function is not bound to any specific class, you have to write the definition always outside of the classes only. You have to write the definition always outside of the classes. Don't write the definition of a friend function inside to any specific class. Clear? So always the definition will go outside of the class, because the friend function is not bound. The scope of the friend function is not limited to any particular class. That is the reason why we write the definition of friend function outside of all the classes. So we do not put the friend function definition, we do not put this access member function definition either inside exp1 or inside exp2. Simply we write outside of these two classes. Now when you write the function definition, we have a traditional approach of qualifying that member function's definition with class name, isn't it? First we write the class name followed by the scope resolution operator, then we write the member function name. So over here, this friend function, as it is not limited to any particular class, no need to qualify your member function, no need to qualify your friend function with class name. So what you have to do, simply put the return type and the function name and write the definition. So in order to write the definition of this access member, what I have to do? Put the return type void followed by access member. That's it. Inside it you can write the respective coding of this access member function, access member friend function. Now the calling or the invocation. Generally where we do that invocation, inside the main function we do the invocation. So int main void, int main of void. So inside this main, when you do the invocation of this friend function, what you need, generally if it is a member function, what you need the object of the suitable class. You need the object of the suitable class in order to invoke member function. But right now this friend function, as it is not limited to any particular class, so whether you are going to use this exp1's object or exp2's object, it is a big question, isn't it? So simply what we have to do, ignore that creation of object and ignore that calling the member function with the help of object. You can call this friend function without using a caller object. So there is no need of any caller object in order to call the friend function. You can call the friend function like a regular function, how we called in in C programming. How we called that regular functions in C programming, in that same way you can call these friend functions inside your main function. So in order to get the functionality of this access member, what I have to do, inside main simply put that access member of semicolon at the end. No need of return type because it is a function call. So now the same concept of this friend functions I will implement inside the compiler. You just follow how we are doing it and how we are getting the output. To remember important points, what you have to remember, friend functions are helpful in order to access all the data members from multiple classes. We have to say all, because not only private, we can even access protected, we can even access public. So that is the reason why we have to say all data members. As you can see over here, a friend function of a class defined outside the class scope, but it has the right to access all data members of that particular class. When I am saying all data members, it means public, private as well as protected data members. We can access all the data members outside the class. Okay. Yes, the definition, it will not appear in any particular class. Always the definition of a friend function goes outside of all the classes. Outside of all the classes. Yes, generally to access data members from multiple classes, we use friend functions, or friend functions are helpful. That also we discussed. Yes. Friend function definition, it does not require any class qualifier, because it will go in more than one class. So which class you use in order to qualify that friend function? It is a tedious thing, isn't it? If it is having more than one class, which class name you use in order to qualify the friend function? So that is the reason why what we are doing, simply we are omitting that qualifying concept, qualifying the member function definition. So here, in order to qualify, in order to write the friend function definition, we no need to specify the qualifier, class qualifier. Clear? Next thing, invocation. In order to invoke the friend function, we don't need any class object. Simply use the function name itself, friend function name itself. That will invoke the friend function. Okay. Quickly, we'll see one simple example for this friend function.